Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Sousou no Frieren episode number 21 reaction. So the previous episode we got to see the battle between Yubel, Wirbel, yeah that's his name, Ere, Fern, and the other two guys. I've forgotten their name. The glasses guy and the other guy. We got to say their battle, and Fern just completely destroyed Ere very easily. Wasn't even a match. And Ubel and Wirbel had an interesting battle, and in the end, Fern comes in, and because of her, Wirbel has to give up. And Fern also kind of lied, saying that he killed Ere, but she didn't do that, obviously. So that's that. And while the glasses guy defeated the other guy, so their group completely lost. We got to see a little bit of the backstory of Wirbel, and a few other stuff we got to see. And in the end, we got to see that Wirbel was easily able to get the that bird, and he wasn't able to get it up until that time because he was just unlucky. He didn't get it, but he had an ability to stop the bird in its tracks and literally got it so easily. So yeah, that's that. And then we are building up the whole battle for whole environment for Fern, not Fern, sorry, Frieren's battle against those guys, and that's what's going to happen now. So let us see, and yeah, let's see how Frieren fights and what happens in this. So yeah, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it is still raining. Damn. Oh, a flashback. Okay. Oh, this is when they met. What was her name? Stadia? I wasn't expecting that voice. Wait, she is a girl, isn't she? This, this is a girl, isn't it? Or is this a boy? Okay, wait a minute. I think them. Yeah, she's a girl because I remember in the previous episode they mentioned they referred to her as she. So I that voice threw me off completely. Yeah. Hmm. The world of magic. Okay. Oh yeah, this guy, Richter. Damn. Okay. Right, this guy's too overconfident. Hmm. So, wow. Spoken like a true mage, you know. Well, right. Oh, she also. Okay. Yeah. Wait, this is Killua's voice, isn't it? Oh, wow. Wow. She said the same thing. Yeah, why? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. I like how she associated. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, because she's going to, like, hold back because she finds joy in fighting. Yep. Good answer. Yep. All right. They're using their uh, freezing. Yeah. Right. What do we do? Oh, damn. He just blew everything away. Ooh. Right. Oh, okay. Really? All right. We'll see. Damn. Okay, I don't really like this guy. This guy's too overconfident for my liking. There's like a limit to overconfidence and confidence. Oh, first, defensive battles of attrition. So he's saying that he's. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's why he's chugging rocks. Oh, for perfection. I see. Yeah, okay, I see. Physical object. Right. Okay, oh. Yeah, I see. That's what he was getting at. God damn it. Yep, it's physical, that's why. It's not really magic that he's using physical objects. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think she. Okay. Ooh. I see. That's interesting. Bruh. Fine. We would have beaten. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe he. Uh, Shut up. You're not their teacher. Oh, they're already fighting. Damn. Ooh. Exactly. Like, because Harman is so vast. Oh, is he going to use some kind of a ultimate attack? Yeah. Walled goes. Oh, mixed two. Yeah, I don't think that'll do anything. Tornado of fire. Crazy. Oh, I see. Ah. Oh! Wait, is that. Oh, wait, who? I thought that was. For a moment, I thought maybe that was Frieren, but let's see. Ooh. Okay. Wait, who? Wait, where did she counterattack from? Yeah. But. Whoa! Point blank range! Oh my god, hey. I'm I'm guessing he probably defended himself at the last moment. Otherwise he would have been damaged. Yeah. Good god. Well, she is alive for so long. So, there's a lot of experience. Probably. I Okay. Oh my god, he's just kicking him. Yeah, I have a hostage here. Because if he yeah, they'll lose automatically. So, yeah. Oh. Oh wait. I feel like she'll probably try to take him and run. Yeah. But oh. 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 I don't like this. Yeah, gotta steal it. Hmm. Well, can't you just get another? I guess there's not enough time. He said, he enjoys. Oh no, wait. That's okay. Wait a minute. Ah. Wow, that is why. Hmm. I don't know. Like, let's see. Like, Kanye and Lavina, yeah. I feel like she was the one who was doing it. Yep, indeed. And the water will come in, since it's raining. I think that's what they're going to use. I can see where this is going to go now. Train will probably somehow make like a hole in the barrier. Water will come in somehow, and Kane can use that. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Oh boy, move! She's going to bring it down. Yep, and that's going to help them. The rain, it'll fall. Yeah, you think so? All right, we'll see. I love how everyone is like, at least in this arc, is so overconfident. Like, obviously they don't know who they're dealing with. Well, yeah, now now he's like, yeah, who is this? Oh my god, that is crazy. Yep. Yeah. This is how he says she says hello. Yep, the rain is falling now, and here we go. Everything is going to be okay now. Yeah, she doesn't have water. Yeah. Nope. Impossible. Yeah, rain is literally beside you. And Lawine can freeze the water as well. That's going to help. Come on. Come on, quick, Kane. Do it. Yep. Yeah, you think so? Alright, we'll see. She can literally douse you in water and freeze you forever. Oh wow. Yep. Ah! Yes! Damn, imagine that amount of water just completely washing you out. Damn. Oh, yo, even they got doused in water. Yeah. Well, that helps. Well, yeah. Well, there you go. She cannot even open the thing. So out of mana. Mm. Bring down the tree. Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. Break the tree. Hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's all she needs, you know. Yes. I intend to. What? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Some advanced magic spell, maybe. Wow. uh. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. They will be enemies. What? Why? Oh no. Oh, okay. It's a defeated party. Oh, I see. Yeah. So they got the stealer, but got killed. One of them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like someone winning with their. Yeah. Okay. They don't know that. They don't know that. We can bluff ourselves out. You know, like. Oh yeah, that's also true. Oh, we're gonna have a brawl. Okay. Some fist fight. Yeah. When there's no mana, just punch it out. Come on. Wow, that was funny. His hand is hurt. Yeah. What the hell was that? How did that even happen? Uh, this part is 18. Okay, 3 days. Nice. A little break. They just made sure that like they're present or not. Yeah, I was wondering what is Stark doing. Bruh. Okay, nice. Hmm. All right, there you go. That was this episode. So this was the episode where we got to see the battle and a conclusion to the first test. So it obviously it concluded just like I expected it to. I wasn't really sure whether Denken's team is going to win or not because obviously since his group and Frieren's group were battling it out, one of the group would win. So I was expecting Frieren's group to win, but then I didn't know whether Denken's group is going to win or not. If they're able to get a stele before the test ends, then they would win, obviously. And that's what happened, like in the end, they were able to get one. So they have passed as well. So overall, most of the people that we saw, like all the characters, like the named characters of, like all the characters that have been named in this arc, all of them, I think, passed. I don't think any one of them failed. Yeah, as far as I can remember, every one of them passed. All the named character has passed. So everyone, all of them will be in the second match or the second test, whatever that will be. But before that, we'll get, I think, like maybe one episode of a break, and something like that, because they said like 3 days. I think they'll have a little bit of rest, and then probably this is episode number 21. So maybe episode 22 will be like a little break episode, and then from episode 23 again we'll be back into the tests. So let's see. Either way, both Frieren and Fern and everyone has passed, so that's good. And yeah, so today's episode, there's a few interesting things that I want to talk about overall. First of all, Seria or Zeria, I think that's her name. She is an interesting character because, as you can see in the first section, when Frieren is brought in front of her, and Flamme is like, "Oh, this is Frieren. This is my like pupil," and she was like, Seria's like, "Oh, okay, I can give you like one magic spell if you want. Like wish anything, I'll give it to you." And Frieren was like, "Oh no, where is that part? There we go." Frieren is like, "Oh no, I don't want anything," and she said, "The greatest joy of magic lies in searching for it." The exact same thing that Denken said before, as we saw, she said the same thing then. And this is a very interesting section because the conversation that follows after this is very interesting. When she said this, I was thinking Sari is going to be like, "Oh wow, what a great outlook on like magic. Oh, you're a good kid," or something like that. Or she would be very impressed by that answer. That's literally what I thought. She says the exact opposite, which confused me at the beginning, and then the logic or the reasoning for that she brings out after that, it made sense. So here's what happens. After Frieren says this, Zaria's like, "Flamme, this girl is no good after all. She lacks a burning ambition." This line. Now, it might seem that this line is contradicting what Frieren said, but I can understand why Saria said this. So I think Saria's outlook on this whole situation is that when she said that, "Oh, if you want something, tell me," and she was like, "No, I want to find it out on my own. I don't need anything." At which she says that, "Oh, this is bad, Flamme. She lacks a burning ambition." So according to Saria, which makes sense, if someone really had ambition to become the strongest mage or to be something or someone, they wouldn't say something like this. They would immediately accept this opportunity and say something like, "Oh, I want this," because this is kind of like you're going, I don't know, to like a, you like let me like bring an example. You're going to like a shop or whatever, and there's a lot of expensive stuff over there, and you are a rich person. You don't need anything in your life. You don't need any kind of stuff like expensive stuff. You still go to that shop and you ask the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper tells you, "Oh wow, for whatever reason, I'm going to give you any one thing from my store, any expensive thing, just name it." And the rich guy is like, "Oh, I don't need anything, like I'm like, yeah, I don't need anything." That's literally what it is, kind of, because like that rich person lacks the reason, like the ambition or whatever to get something, because he already has it, or he plans, he doesn't have like plans on getting something like that. He's either not interested in money, or like he already has everything. Here is the former. Frieren doesn't have everything, but she doesn't have any particular like ambition to get the spells. She wants to find it out on her own. So that is why I can understand why Saria said that she lacks ambition. Because if she really had an ambition to become the strongest or something like that, she would have like just lashed into this opportunity and get whatever the hell, like whatever she wanted from Saria. Since she didn't do that, I think that's why Saria concluded she lacks an ambition, which I guess it is true. She doesn't really have like Frieren doesn't really have any type of ambition. She just wants to, just live like a meaningful life, I guess you could say. And she collects magic because of her passion, and that's what she said. Like like the most fun in getting magic is like finding it on your own. So yeah, in that sense, I guess you could say, yeah, I agree with Sadia. She does lack that burning ambition to, to grasp whatever a chance there is to become stronger. She wants to do it at her own pace and wants to find out stuff. And this is why you always see like Frieren like always gets attracted to weird spells. You see, like she like wants like spells that's going to let her see through clothes and stuff. Like that's literally what she does. Like a some kind of a magic spell or like a magic potion she wants that can melt clothes or whatever. Like she's interested in weird things, like unusual things, the things that catches her fancy. That's what she wants. She doesn't want stuff like a really crazy offensive spell or something like that. She's not really interested in those stuff. Anything that catches her fancy, she wants that. So that is why Saria says that she lacks an ambition. I can understand her reasoning for this and the logic behind this. But that's funny how she says that. Because I was literally expecting her to praise Frieren, say something like, "Oh wow, that's a really good answer, like good job, kid. Like you have a bright future," or something like that. But no, she literally is like, she doesn't have any ambition. But anyways, now, like as a reply to this, what Flamme says is also very interesting. Flamme says, "Master, someday this girl will defeat the Demon King. It will be a mage like her who clears the way to a peaceful era." Now, brings in another set of conversation where Saria is like, "Wait, so you're saying I cannot defeat the Demon King?" Flamme is like, "Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you are someone who seeks battle. You cannot kill the Demon King. Because obviously since she seeks battle, she's never going to do that. Okay, we cannot do it. After all, you cannot imagine yourself living in a peaceful era, can you?" So another thing that Flamme says is that we cannot do it. This is one thing that I've always wondered. I've always wondered, why did Flamme, since Flamme was so strong, why did she not do anything about the Demon King? Since Saria, we've been hearing Saria is so strong, she has the knowledge of everything, all the grimoires and everything, all spells she has. Why did she not do anything about the Demon King? I guess I get my answer today in this fashion. So basically, according to Flamme, she and Saria will never be able to defeat the Demon King because they seek battle. Unlike Frieren, who is a girl or an elfin mage from the peaceful era who would want peace. So it is only possible for Frieren and people like Frieren who wants peace to defeat the Demon King. People like them who have been born in a world which is filled with war and they only know war, they will never be able to defeat the Demon King to bring prosperity. Like in a literal sense, like it's not really in a literal sense they're saying that they cannot defeat the Demon King. They can probably, but they're saying it in a more I don't know, in a more symbolical or like a more like in another way. So basically, yeah, they're never going to do that, even though they can, because they cannot envision a world where there's peace. That's why, and that is what she says, which is a very interesting answer to my question that I kind of thought before as well. Like, yeah, why couldn't Flamme do it? Something like that. Like, for a moment, I kind of thought that maybe Flamme couldn't do it because of her age. She's a human. She would die. And like that was one logic that I had in my head, that oh, maybe because she's a human she couldn't do it, that's why she left everything to Frieren. But then this logic would completely get upturned, because then we got to know the existence of a strong character like Serie, who's even probably stronger than Flamme, and she's an elf. So pops out the question, why did Serie not defeat the Demon King? You know, like, yeah, I could understand the logic that, yeah, maybe Flamme didn't do it because Flamme is a human, she didn't have much time. That's why she left everything to Frieren. Why did not she do it? There you go. I think I have my answer here. That is why. Um, yeah, after all, you cannot imagine yourself living in a peaceful era, can you? And Zed is like, yeah, okay, Frieren is a mage of a peaceful era. Not only Frieren, but everyone else who like went along with her. That was Himmel, Heiter, like Aizen. All of them wanted peace. They are people from peaceful era, and that is why. Okay, you know what? Let me check something. Is her name Zeri, or am I making a mistake? Just like I made a mistake with Denken's name. Oh no, did I make him? Oh my god. Oh no, her name is Sadie. Okay, okay. For a moment, I thought I also again made a mistake like Denken. I was like calling Denken like something I was calling him like some other name throughout like half of the episode. So no, this is her name is Sadie. Okay, I was correct. Um, okay, so there you go. So that's the whole thing. This part is very interesting because this whole conversation is so interesting. Like the first section with like where she talks about Freya not having ambition, and not only that, also the fact that like we also get to know why could Sadia not defeat the Demon King. It's not that she couldn't; she could probably do it, but she never would. Or I don't know, like, or maybe there's something else going on. But yeah, like since she's from like an era where there's war and everything, she could never envision herself living in a peaceful world. That's why she would never be able to defeat the Demon King. In that sense, I could understand. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That was that whole section. That was a very interesting section. Um, okay, so that's that. So you can see that Denken is a lot like Frieren with the way he looks at magic, like because he said the exact same thing that Frieren said before in front of Sadia, that oh, like the fun is in getting the magic on your own. He also said the same thing. So, and it's interesting because if you think about it, you remember or you realize that what's her name, Laufen and Richter literally said the same thing to Denken. They were like, oh, like like why, like you have so much power, why do you lack ambition and like a concrete, like you can use all of this for fame, money and everything. Why do you lack that even though you're so gifted and you're so talented? They also asked him the same question, if you remember. So it's funny to see how Frieren and Denken are kind of very similar. Both have this like fascination for magic, and like they kind of lack ambition a little bit. They just do what they want to do, what they fancy, and that is why they are so strong. They are geniuses because of that. Because any person, like, ambition is definitely important, but if there's any person who finds something interesting and from the bottom of their heart they want to do it, they'll find way more interesting ways, a lot more interesting ways to make it work out. And that is how geniuses are born, like, because who are like someone who just follows a predetermined path, like walking forward towards their ambition, they can become like successful, they can become strong in the future, they can become a very like a successful person. However, like, they probably cannot become geniuses, because geniuses are only those who walk in a path that has never been walked by anyone else. So if you're walking through like a set path, walking towards an ambition, that makes you accomplished, experienced, and ultimately successful. But that will never make you a genius. Geniuses are people who find their own way, a way that has never been trodden before. And you can say that Frieren and Denken are people like that, because they, even though they lack that ambition to walk that path, they have their own way of trying to go towards the same path and reaching the goal, but in their own different way. You know, like for example, Frieren, she loves magic so much, so she like collects all this weird stuff and everything, and so makes like weird magic and stuff. Like I don't know about Denken, we have barely met him, but I'm sure he also is someone like that who's just fascinated with magic and everything. You know, they're not really walking towards an ambition, they just want to pursue the path of magic from their own love, and like they have a unique look and perspective on magic, and they're walking their own path. So yeah, they might not be successful in the future, but they're definitely geniuses and they're definitely strong. So that's the like good thing, like like interesting thing about this, because yeah, like like you're considered a genius when you do something that nobody has ever done before. And you can say that Denken and Frieren are probably people like that because they genuinely love the thing, like they genuinely love it, and they genuinely want to, like they have their own take on magic and stuff like that. Anyways, okay, another part of this episode that I found quite funny was how like like this guy, the teacher was like, like, you know what, it's fine, like nothing will happen, when Frieren was trying to like break the thing. And the other girl, Sense, I think that was her name, or whatever her name was, she was a bit concerned. She was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But he was just so chill, just drinking coffee or tea, whatever that was. He's like, it's fine, no problem. And then bam, the whole like barrier breaks, and he's like, right, okay, so who is that person that, like, who is that? Like, the person that is doing this? And that's when he got to know that's actually Frieren. And, can't really blame him because he's like literally so strong, he's like the teacher. And I doubt anyone ever has been able to defeat that, break that barrier ever before. So, like, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably tried to do it and was never able to. So he probably has seen a lot of attempts from other students, to not students but like participants, who tried to break the barrier and failed ultimately. So he probably thought like, oh, this is another one of those, like like participants who's trying to, like, break the barrier, and it'll just like always, it'll not break. The great like sage Seria made this. It's in no way is it possible. And then that happened, and he's like, all right, well. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, that was that. Now, okay, so that was that. Then after that, also we got to see how Lawine and Kanne were able to defeat Richter, and obviously Frieren's help definitely, like like her assistance definitely helped them by a lot, because otherwise Kanne wouldn't be able to do anything. And this is another interesting part of this episode where they talk about how magic works. So basically, as long as you're able to imagine something, like it will work, I guess, in a way. And like you have to imagine it. Like anything that you won't be able to imagine, you cannot bring it out. So that is why when they were saying, like when Richter was, no, when Lavina was saying, like, oh, you do know that human body is made of water, and Richter's like, stop bluffing. I know, like, like obviously the basics of magic I know. You have to imagine. So, can you even imagine, like, me standing here with no water beside me and mana, like, all around me? Can you imagine controlling the water in my body? Can you imagine that? It's impossible to imagine that, So, that's why she wasn't able to do it. But then, when the water came down, all over the place there's water. Your imagination is like anyone who can, like, control water, immediately they will imagine so many things to do with that water, because yeah, so at the end of the day, it is like imagination. You have to imagine. You cannot literally do anything. You have to imagine something, and for that to work out, certain conditions needs to be fulfilled. For example, although if there's water around you, then you can control it. So the rain really helped, since there's literally water all around. Kanne's imagination started expanding completely at that moment, and she had so many possibilities in front of her because there's literally water everywhere, like it's falling as rain. So that is why that was able to work out so nicely. And another thing, like like they kind of explained about the defensive spell. So basically, that defensive spell can defend against magic. However, against physical objects is difficult. I think she kind of explains it here. Where is that? He kind of gives a really good explanation here. which I'm going to go back and read this because I think I need to know about this properly and understand this. Where is it? Um, okay, here it is. He's like, all right, let me give you a little bit of a study session. So he says that, right, the defensive spell developed in combat, Zoltark, is high resistance to magic itself. Yeah. Okay. Its effectiveness against physical objects has hardly changed since then. Naturally, there is a clear reason for that. It's enough to defend against physical attacks of monsters and warriors. Yeah, it's like that's enough. Defensive magic mustn't be over engineered. If you aim for perfection, the technique would become too complex and it'll probably take out a lot of mana as well, which would have a fatal effect on activation time as well. Yeah. History of magic is one of attacking and defending. Is the reason there is a trend for modern attack spells to involve controlling physical objects. So that's why he's saying, like, yeah, since it can defend against magic spells so better, to go against that, we modern day mage use physical objects to fight. You know, like levitation on stuff to like launch them towards the enemy, kind of like that. And that is the reason why, because physical attacks against physical attacks, Zoltrak isn't really that strong. It just does the bare minimum. That's it. And yeah, that was the logic. That is why when he used that rock and everything, it worked out so nicely. And that is why in the end, when there was so much water, you know, fell on top of him, it worked out because you know water when it falls on top of, obviously it's a physical object, so that's why the Zoltrak was broken and he wasn't able to defend himself from that, because that wasn't really magic. All Kane did was accumulate the water and just chug it towards him. That's a physical thing. So yeah, that's how it worked. So yeah, that was that. And then you know, obviously in the end, we get to see them defeated, but Denken was like, you know what, we shouldn't give up until the very end. And that part was very funny, you know, because I was thinking like, oh, what's he going to do now? He has no mana, no magic spell. What will he do? You know, and he just takes out his coat. He's like, all right, let's do it. Let's have a fight, and just starts fisting it out. And I'm like, yep, that's one way to do it, I guess. You know, there you go. And yeah, that's how they were able to get the steel as well. Great episode, and yeah, that was amazing. And now we have a little bit of a break, and then the second test will start. So let's wait and see what happens. Okay, so that was this episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene in case I missed something. Let me check. Okay, the first section was that section where we get to see Flamme brought Frieren in front of Serie, and yeah, and you can see. Oh, this part I didn't notice at that time. You can see when Flamme and Frieren are like in front of Serie, you can see the surroundings are like all nice, but then the transition here, I didn't notice this, like the transitions to like a worn down place, and it probably shows the passage of time, and Serie is still sitting down there just like before, just sitting there. Yeah. Okay, so then we go to the matter at hand. So Richter brings them up, Kanye and Lawine, into like an elevated platform, while over there Frieren is in front of Denken, and okay, when Frieren asks him that, oh, what makes you think that, like, you know, like when he is complaining about Richter, and you know, like when Frieren asks him about magic, he says that, here we go, the greatest joy of magic lies in searching for it, which obviously triggered a few memories within Frieren. And yeah, she remembers back in the day she also said something similar. So in front of Serie, the whole conversation happened. I discussed about this section, you know, at the beginning part of the discussion. So basically, like when she's like, oh, what spell do you want? Frieren is like, oh, I don't want anything. I want to find it out on my own. I want to experience that joy myself. At which Serie is like, oh, damn, this girl lacks ambition. You know, if she had ambition to get stronger or something, she would have immediately like latched onto this opportunity and probably got a good spell. But this shows that she lacks ambition. However, Flamme had a different take on that, and she's like, yeah, because of this, exactly because of this, she will be the one to defeat the Demon King. Because you and I, we lack that, I guess you could say, that intent. We cannot imagine ourselves in a peaceful world. However, Frieren is a girl from the peaceful world, and she's definitely going to be the one to defeat the Demon King. And yeah, that was, the whole conversation that they had. And after that, we are back again here in the matter at hand, and Kanne and Lavinia, they are struggling against Richter, and Richter is just using rocks to break the Zoltak. It's not working. Kanne doesn't have water, so it's a troublesome situation. And here, Richter gives a little lecture about the whole the Zoltrak, the magic defensive spell, which again I talked about before. And yeah, he explains it, and he's like, that is why we modern mages just chuck physical objects using, I don't know, maybe like levitation, telekinesis, or whatever they use to chuck the physical object towards the enemies. And that's how they do it. They do not directly use magic because it won't really work against Zoltak, because it's very resistant against magic. That's why they use physical objects like that. And they were like obviously injured after that with the whole rock that hit them. And then he comes in front of them and he's like, all right, you two go to sleep, you cannot do anything in front of me. Lavinia tries to bluff her way out a little bit by saying like, oh, you do remember that human bodies have water in them. And he's like, that's not going to work for me, because unless and until you can imagine it, you cannot do anything, and I doubt you can imagine that in this situation. And yeah, while all of this is happening, Frieren is battling against Denken. And yeah, Frieren is just so like easily taking it. Denken is using his magic spells and everything, and Denken realizes that I need to end this quickly, otherwise I won't be able to do anything. She has a vast amount of mana within her, so I have to use my strongest attack to defeat her. He tries out a lot of combinations and stuff, and yeah, and here we also get to know from that teacher that someone is probably like kind of trying to like find out the nature of the barrier. And the teacher was like, oh, it's fine, I don't think we don't have to worry about that. But obviously we get to see that Frieren was able to break it. But anyways, that is brought up at that moment. And then again we get to see Denken fighting Frieren, and tries out his best and best of spells. Doesn't work. Frieren's magical barrier is too strong, and she just blasts him away. And yeah, he's sprawled down on the ground. Frieren points her wand towards him, and taking him as a hostage. And she's like, all right, Laufen, come out. Like bring out your other your other comrade. So Denken is like, right, you don't have to do that, Laufen. Just stay wherever you are. If you use your mana even a little bit, she'll immediately realize where you are. So just keep it like that. And she'll just stand here beside me, wasting time, and we can win automatically. So don't do it. As long as we survive, everything will be fine. And he also says that don't worry, she's not going to kill me. She doesn't have that killing intent. She's not going to do that. So don't worry, just stay there. And Laufen tries to think like, what, maybe I could just quickly go and grab him and just run out. But he's like, no, that's a trap. I know what you're thinking, but don't do it. Like she'll grab you. And you can see that Frieren kinds of, again, probably that was a bluff when she uses like the magic spell pointing at Denken. And, and Denken is continuously telling that don't do it. Whatever she does, don't come. But obviously Laufen wasn't like, she was like, oh no, I have to do something. In front of me, someone, if they gets hurt like that, I cannot, I cannot do that. And he's my comrade. So she quickly runs out, trying to grab him and run. But Frieren just grabs him by the collar. And Denken's like, you fool. So yeah, Frieren got the stele back and bound them on the tree. Now Denken is like, why did you do that? I've told you hundreds of times that she's not going to attack me, kill me. She doesn't have that intent. And Laufen's like, oh, but she would definitely hurt you, Yeah, she planned on hurting you before it killed you. Then kills like, but still we would have won. Yeah, and then Laughing obviously asks like, why do you want to be a first class mage? And it's an like his reasoning is very interesting. I thought he was just doing this because, as he said, it's fun to know more magic and everything. But at the end of the day, like he doesn't really particularly need to be like a first class mage to like keep continuing his search for magic. Yeah, he doesn't need that. He can just be a normal mage, and you know what? This also kind of makes so much sense. There was also another question I was having where I thought, if he is this strong, why did he not like participate in this test before? It makes so much sense now that we got to know why he's doing this. He says that, as he says here, that like in the northern region, um, you need to have the license to get into that place, and I cannot access that place because I don't have a license. And I want to do that because there's over there where I want to access, there's a grave that I haven't been in there for a while. So I want to visit the grave. And that is why I cannot even go there unless and until I have the permit. And that's why I want it. And it makes so much sense because, like I did think before that he's quite old now, but we saw him, he's quite strong. So he could have done this anytime before. Why did he not do it before? Because of this, he didn't need to do it. As we all know, he is someone who's exactly like Frieren. He doesn't really have like any lofty ambition. He just wants to like research on magic and find more magic out for the experience, for the fun, for the excitement, just like Frieren. So someone like him, there's no need for him to take a test to become a first class mage. There's literally no need. If Frieren also didn't need to take this exam, she wouldn't have. She has to take it because she needs to go to that place as well. So that's why she's taking it. If there wasn't any need, they are not really that ambitious to become a first class mage. They don't need to be a first class mage. They could just be happy with what they have. But still, he did it. Why? Why is he trying to do it? This is the reason. Because he actually needs it. It's because he wants to go and visit the grave. I'm guessing it's probably either like some friend or comrade from back in the day, or maybe his wife. Either of it. That like either one of their graves probably there is. So yeah, that is why. And it makes sense, yeah, because we have seen that he doesn't have that much ambition or anything like that sort. So why is he doing this? Because of that. He needs it. Um there you go. Now, while all of this is happening over there, we get to see the battle between Richter, Kanne, and Lawine, and they're fighting, but it's of no use. So Frieren is like, all right, you know what? Let's do this. And she's like, she's going to break. She just finished, like finding out the secrets of the barrier or whatever she was doing. So she does it. Denken is flabbergasted. That teacher was like, oh, like, no problem, everything is fine. And then the whole barrier broke, and he's just like, right. So, who is that person that did that? Do you know about her? And the other teacher was like, oh, that's like her name is Frieren, and he immediately recognizes her. He's like, oh, like one of the hero party members, like the last of the grand mage. And this also obviously, like Zerie in her throne, she's also like, okay, Frieren, you know what? Yeah, like you did it. Okay, so okay, what is that? That's a hell of a greeting, isn't it? Yeah, and I remember, like, that teacher also said something like, oh, even if the whole world turns upside down, nobody will be able to break it. I love how Seria literally brings that up as well, and she's like, this is what magic is, like sometimes the world actually is turned upside down in the world of magic, and new things happen. That is why I cannot get enough of it. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, the water is falling down, it's raining, and that is how Kanne and Lawine were able to gain back their strength again. Before Richter could do anything, Lawine stopped him in his tracks using the eyes, and before like he's able to run away or do something, Kanne chucked a whole chunk of water on top of him. And he's like, yeah, this is why I hate water, it's literally every time. I'm guessing he probably have had if experiences like this before as well, where probably like he was defeated by water, or not water but some physical like like thing. So that is why he tried to avoid it up until now. But now it's raining, so you know what? There's no way to run away from this. And yeah, he's defeated immediately. So yeah, there you go. We got the stele. Frieren is like, good god job, guys. Let's go and hide, for the rest of the time. And they run away over there while there you go. Now, Richter has given up. Denken is like, a court mage would never. Wait, no, what did he call himself? Court mage, wasn't it? Yeah. He's like yeah, they would never give up until the very end. So what he does, he's like, all right, can you dispel this constraint? Laufen is like, obviously not. I don't have any magic. He's like, all right, then let's just uproot the tree. That's another way, I guess. I love how versatile his thinking is. I never probably would have thought about that, just breaking the tree. Probably unless and until like I just I just thought about it. Maybe like at least it would take me like a half an hour for the idea to come to my head. Like, oh yeah, I can literally uproot the tree, and that's going to work. So I love how versatile his thinking is. He's like, can we break the restraint? No, okay, so then just break the tree. Literally that. So yeah, they do that, and they're like, all right, let's try and go find out if there's anyone we can snatch a stele from. We get to see a little bit of Fern and her group as well. And Yubil is like, oh, what the hell is up with you? You just use basic ass spells. Like, that's quite boring. I love how Fern is like, oh, it's like, like my master has only, like this is how my master taught me. And yeah, that's what I do. But, only in fighting, Frieren has confined, like, constricted me from using higher spells. Just use basic spells. On other stuff, I can do like strong or more complicated spells. You will like, yeah, for example, and she's like, oh yeah, this is one spell that lets you see through clothes. And she literally just goes and sits in the side. Right, anyways. Okay, the glasses guy, he brings up an interesting point. He's like, right, you guys shouldn't really give out information because technically from the next round, we might be enemies. So that's a good point, yeah. Right, back to Denken again, and they find out these adventurers who one of their party members died, and they're just hanging on to the stele. And Richter was like, can't we negotiate with them? And he's like, no, it's not going to work because like they obviously came here to become to become a first class mage. So any type of negotiation won't really work, and they'll give their all to protect that stele from us, because otherwise they'll obviously it'll be frustrating if someone is able to become a first class mage even though you're not able to become, and they literally do it with your own stele, which is understandable. Obviously, all of them wanted to be first class mages, and they literally lost one of their teammates, so that's why he's like, yeah, we have to do this the hard way. So what do? We don't have any magic or anything. Yeah, just punch it out, and I love this part where he literally takes out his jacket and he's like, all right, let's go, let's just fight. And they start punching each other. Right, anyways, there you go. Ultimately we see that a lot of the teams have won. This team, what's up with this team? I don't understand this. This is one guy who's just I don't know, just crouching on the ground like that, and the stele is literally on their back. Like, what? How? That was one of the funniest scenes. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Right. So, match has ended, and all of these people have won. I love how Frieren kind of looks at the side. Frieren also kind of looks at the side. They look at each other and they see that they have passed, and they're like, okay. Right, and then poor Stark is just waiting, and he's like, you know what? I have so much freedom now. I can stay up as late as I want. Fern isn't here to get mad at me. I'm so happy it's scary. And the bartender's like, looks like you've got it rough. Oh, that was funny. So that was that. Great episode, and yeah, like we got to see the ending of the battle, and yeah, obviously Frieren and her group won. But a few interesting, like, like things happened, especially that scene with Serie. That was very interesting, and yeah, and that part as well, where Frieren literally broke that like barrier like crazy. So that is it. So that is my reaction to this episode. This was my reaction to episode 21 of Sousou no Frieren. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. So yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Sousou no Frieren. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.